Ready to be inspired? We've got passion, hustle, and million-rand dreams on display tonight. Welcome back to Nedbank Pitch and Polish, where every pitch is a fight for survival and no one is safe. Don't go anywhere. It's hard to believe how far we've come from 16 hopefuls to having just 7 contenders left. The journey has been extraordinary. Our contestants have faced tough feedback, challenging questions, and the nerve-wracking pressure of pitching while the clock ticks down. And they're doing it all for that ultimate entrepreneurial business boost, a prize package worth a whopping 1 million rand that includes funding, mentorship, and access to game-changing entrepreneurial software. Life-changing stuff. But the only reason our contestants can get up there and pitch their hearts out is because behind them is a network of champions. Our title sponsor, Nedbank, program organizer, Race Corp, and venue provider, the Business Exchange. They're the ultimate support system for South African entrepreneurs. Before I hand over to our contestants, let's take a quick look at where we're at in the competition. Last week, Kate of Akani Paints took our first spot in the semi-finals. Tonight, we'll find out who joins her. Only one spot is available per episode from now on. The pressure is real, and every word of that pitch matters. Speaking of pitches, here comes our first contestant, Nontsikelelo, looking fabulous again. She's no doubt wearing something from Toltema, her own fashion range. Stunning! Take it away, Nontsikelelo.
Nontsikelelo, welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, you understand there's 2 minutes to pitch this time, right?
Yes.
And you're prepared?
Yes, I am.
All right. Nontsikelelo, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pitch and polish.
My name is Tamiya Nontsikelelo. I'm from TamRex Holdings and I'm proudly dressed in Toltema. You see, Toltema doesn't just sell premium quality head wraps and dresses that are so unique that we're having them patented, but we sell the feeling of elegance. Purchasing from us buys you into an exclusive community of high value women. See, what we do well is that we know exactly who we're speaking to and we're speaking to her directly. Her name is Ruby. She's well over her 30s, she's high earning, she's modest, and she's proudly African. See, according to our research, willing to spend up to 2,000 rand a month on clothing. And as it turns out, there are many rubies in the world and they all love Toltema, because by the end of our second financial year, we're looking to close with a revenue increase of up to 167%, with gross profit margins moving from 28% to up to 50%, and net profit going up from 8% to 15%. See, judges, the rubies are buying faster than we can produce, and we are close to crashing. But that's not going to happen because we've developed an organizational structure that's going to allow us to execute our strategy through departments. We're going to have a sales and marketing department that's going to allow us to nurture and grow our relationship with Ruby. We're going to have an IT department that's going to allow us to stay on top of our e-commerce. We're going to have an HR and finance department for sustainability, and most importantly, we're going to have a production and distribution department, which is where majority of our winnings are going to go. It's going to allow us to invest in more equipment, a bigger team, and double our production capacity, and buy fabric in bulk in order to drive down our cost of production. So judges, this will help us get Ruby's orders to her faster and more efficiently. So help us to crown all the rubies in the world and keep up with all of her demands by investing in Toltema.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with 5 seconds to spare. All right. Let's start with you, Nontsikelelo.
Okay, hi Tamiya. Well,
Hi.
well done, and you look beautiful again.
Thank you so much.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
tell me, you said, I mean, I really love you've identified Ruby, that's your customer, that's your target market, and you're going after her. So that was, very clearly laid out. My question to you is, how are you going? I know you've said you're gonna patent your products or your brand. I'm not sure, but how are you going to prevent copycats from also going after Ruby? What makes Tolthema's product hard to copy, even with the patent?
The thing about the fashion industry is that there'll always be copycats, right? But the thing that the copycat is not always able to do is match the quality. And another thing is that Dolthema, like I said, purchasing us, you sort of buy into this exclusive community. We have built a relationship, right? Our biggest asset is our relationship with Ruby, and the fact that although we have an amazing product, but it's also the story behind the product and the people that, the love that they just have for the brand Dolthema and everything that we stand for. I think I always like to make an example with Coca-Cola that it's more than just the drink itself, but also just what Coca-Cola stands for and the name that they've built. That's why people keep going back. And I think that's what we're building with Dolthema. And I'm confident that it protects us from anybody who replicates what we do.
Okay. So what keeps you up at night?
Production. Production, like I mentioned before, like our customer, Ruby is buying faster than we can produce. And we're getting to a point where the demand is so high that it's now not so exciting, it's scary. And we desperately need to grow and figure out a way to maybe produce more. And yeah, that's what keeps me up at night.
Thank you, Tamia.
Thank you.
Right, go for it.
Hi there. I love the green, very becoming.
Thank you.
So you kept on mentioning we're gonna,
Yes,
but you're growing exorbitantly at the moment.
yes.
What's going to protect you from imploding if you don't progress in this competition?
As I was saying, we're gonna, but it's things that we're already implementing. So if we don't progress in the competition, because let me just say, we have done so much already all by ourselves, right? We've gone so far, and I think we've done a pretty good job at like managing ourselves. And the plan, the organizational structure that I've developed, I will execute whether or not we go through in the competition. It's just that the competition will help us get there so much faster, and especially the part with the mentorship and the help. I think it's really what's going to guide us and help us avoid a lot of mistakes. But either way, in a small scale, starting slowly, we're gonna implement the system. We're gonna have all of those departments, and we're gonna ensure that we execute slowly but surely.
Yes, and you mentioned patents. I'm assuming that's patents on your designs.
Yes, yes.
How are
And-
you going
and
to
the
keep
brand.
it? How are you going to keep your designs unique, but then also produce at scale?
I mean, unique in the sense that I'm not sure if I understand the question correctly.
So you mentioned that you have very unique designs, which
Yes.
I'm assuming is what you're going to patent.
Yes.
Okay, and then so you're only going to service a unique boutique type model,
Yes.
or are you going to be producing sort of replicas of that at scale?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of what sets us apart a little bit. Like our designs are beautiful and unique enough that you'd think, maybe you went and had it custom made, but we're producing at scale and that we're serving a whole lot of rubies who want everything. So I think that's why our production right now is so much of a problem, because our pieces, they take time, and we have a lot of customization. So I think efficiency in our production team. So we have a design team, and we have fashion designers, and we're constantly looking at the market to ensure that the uniqueness is there. But also in the production side, we're going to have to be very strategic and diligent, in the sense that even though we're producing such particular unique pieces, but there's still efficiency and a level of speed. I don't know if I answered you well.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, have you ever heard of a piece of clothing being patented?
I don't know. Obviously we're not gonna patent every single design, right? But there's certain pieces like our head wraps, right? This is not just any kind of piece of clothing. It's not something that, especially like our queen said, to be specific, it's not something that it's everywhere, right? And that is sort of like that. That's what we began with. When we started, we were selling just these, and it's our magic, right? That's a piece that is.
I'm just going to stop you
Sorry.
because you didn't answer the question.
I didn't answer the question.
No, you didn't answer
Okay,
the
I'm
question.
sorry.
But I would encourage you to, after this pitch, to go and Google whether you can patent clothing. My
Okay,
guess is you can't.
you can't.
You
Okay.
can't.
Okay.
So if that's a big part of your strategy, it's flawed. Your strategy is flawed that you can patent clothing. Then you spoke about you're going to get 50% margin. You threw a whole bunch of numbers, gonna. How are you gonna get 50% GP from where you are now? What's the...
That's just a projection from our year to date. I wasn't saying gonna, but if we take from what we made, our year ended in December 2024. So from January till today,
Yeah.
if you just use those margins. With the margins, we didn't even annualize them.
Yeah.
That's just taking what we've made so far, and we are up to that.
You're at 50% GP.
Yes.
Okay. And then just in terms of your distribution, how you've definitely got the demand side taken care of because you can't cope. In terms of the supply side, in the last pitch, you spoke about the fact that you're outsourcing a lot of the manufacture. Is that still the intention moving forward?
I mean, definitely not. We'd love for the manufacturer, like everyone in our team, to be full-time and well-trained, like from us, especially since it takes a lot of time to train someone to be able to do what we do. So we do intend on having everybody be within and everything be in-house.
And last question from me is, why didn't you, in this pitch, this is a pitch to investors, why didn't you ask us for the 650,000 Rand and tell us what you're going to do with it?
Why I didn't ask for it and say one of the... Well, I felt it was really important that you know that whatever it is that to put out that the money was going to go somewhere and it would grow, right? I think what I wanted to put across very importantly is that the investment would have return, and asking for it would be like obvious. I want you to want to give it to me because it'll be worth it.
Okay. I think we've heard enough. Thank you for your pitch. You may leave.
Thank you.
All right. So what did you think?
I mean, I liked her. I like her. I liked her from the... I did think she's improved in terms of her pitch. I actually enjoyed her pitch. She was bubbly. I mean, she's always bubbly. She was really into it. And I loved her personalization of her customer, Ruby, who she is, her age, why they're buying, and all the investment. And then she also responded to, I mean, the growth issue, explosive growth, by saying organizational. I mean, this time her answer was organizational structure. I'm going to, whatever. She didn't talk about, last time, if I recall, she was going to open another shop, another distribution shop, and she was going to centralize. And then she did get a bit, the patent thing was, because I got my note patent and production. I was like, I've never heard of anybody patenting. I mean, a brand you can, like if they have a logo or whatever, but you can't patent like a design.
No.
And
you know,
also
because
that headgear.
Hey?
She said that headgear that she
but you
wants
can't
to patent.
I mean, unless it's a particular fabric you're using, and in particular, fabric construction or something. It's got to be, anyway. I mean, that's, otherwise there wouldn't be copycats for all these magnificent brands, or Louis Vuitton, or
exactly.
all these people.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that stops people from copying. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
I mean, they can use different fabrics or use different stuff. But from an improvement point of view, I think she did improve significantly.
Yeah, I felt she went backward as
I
well.
also felt like she
Oh
went
my
backward.
gosh.
Ah,
She got the speed wobbles, and she felt she
In the
got very
question and
insecure
answer.
yeah,
after that patent question.
yeah.
And I think that's where you could actually see her energy go down, and she started getting deflated. That's when an entrepreneur must understand
Yeah.
exactly who they are, and what they stand for, and when you gave her the opportunity also, why didn't you ask us for the money? Why didn't you tell us exactly what you're going to use it? That was an opportunity for her to pick up again and say, actually, I want to do X, Y, Z. So get your strength again, as opposed to going through that defeated piece when, something's just sort of left field. That the other thing is that headgear that she wants to patent. In her first pitch, she said that was traditionally steeped. How are you going to patent something that is traditionally or culturally steeped? Because everybody has access to it, right? So I think that she needs to really look at that patent piece. And
Yeah.
sadly, I think that tripped her up this time
No,
around.
it's true. I mean, I also wondered, like, how much does it cost to patent something? I imagine it costs a lot of money and there's a process, whatever. I just don't know if that's what they should be focusing on. But I mean, I don't know if they are focusing on that. But contrary to you, Alon, I did, because in the end she did say, invest in us, because, I mean, I thought it was implicit in her pitch. They've got great demand, their profit margins are going up, they're doing this thing, so that's why you invest in. So she did say, invest in us.
Only
But
when
the
I gave her,
650 is what?
only when I
Ghana.
asked her the question. She didn't put it in the pitch.
I think she did.
I feel like the 650 was, I'm gonna set up the structure, I'm gonna
Okay.
set up this department, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I like her. I like her.
No,
But
I think we all like her.
but that wasn't a good pitch in my opinion. But let's get scoring, and let's
Yeah,
put
let's
our
do it.
thoughts to
Yeah.
paper.
Yes.
Nontsikelelo, just release. How was that? That was your round 2 pitch. Throw in a bit of the way that you're feeling.
I felt nervous. I
Yeah.
felt so nervous. Like, I'm not sure how I did.
So the 2 minutes, you finished with 6 seconds to spare. Yes.
I think I was speaking a bit fast.
Yeah.
I was talking a little fast, but I did make sure during preparation to give myself a little room just in case I stumble a bit, and I guess, yeah.
Okay, and the questions from the judges, does anything throw you off? Or were you
The last question threw me off completely.
Why didn't you tell us what you're going to do? Why didn't you ask for them?
I wanted to say, I told you.
Well, you got to be nice.
I almost got defensive, but I was like, okay.
All the very best.
Thank you so much.
You
I
look
appreciate
absolutely
it. Thank you. At least, they say they can beat me, but they can't beat my mouth.
She packed a lot into those 2 minutes, and I think it showed. Nontsikelelo raced through that pitch and sounded a little out of breath by the end. Like Monique said, the question about the patent really seemed to throw her off her game. Still, her passion and pride in her product line are undeniable. She's up against a tough opponent tonight. Let's see how they match up. Let's welcome back Prudence of the Kitchen Wrap Company.
Hi there, Prudence.
Hi, Alon.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Right. What have you got in front of you there?
I've got my samples of my architectural foam that I use on furniture, cupboards. It's all eco-friendly, scratch-resistant, waterproof material that we use on kitchen cupboards, furniture, and almost any flat surface.
And that big roll there, is that the
So
actual material that you apply?
It comes in a roll like this. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Thanks. You ready for your pitch?
I'm ready for my pitch.
You know it's 2 minutes?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pitch and polish.
What if renovations could be done overnight with no noise, no dust, and no demolition? That's what we do. I'm Prudence Mabaso, founder of the Kitchen Wrap Company. We offer non-invasive renovation solutions using eco-friendly architectural vinyls to wrap built-in surfaces like cupboards, furniture, and almost any flat surface. We do not replace carpenters. We outperform them. For every cabinet they build, we wrap 5, faster, more affordably, and at scale. Our clients include homeowners, interior designers and architects, real estate agents, hotels and B&Bs, businesses, and anyone that wants a quick transformation. We source our products from multiple global suppliers, giving us the flexibility to adapt to trends and curate products for African spaces. While our competitors are tied to one product or one brand, our flexibility offers us a strategic advantage, and that is a key driver of scale. Yes, anyone can learn how to wrap, but they cannot replicate our brand, our deep research, and the trust that we've built. We completed 130 installations last year, generating a revenue of 4.7 million rand with a gross profit margin of 52%. And that's just in Gauteng. Now we're ready to scale nationally. We've launched via social media to keep client acquisition costs low and to prove product fit. We've also exhibited at TamRex, Africa's largest interior design expo, for 2 years in a row, cementing our place in industry. And now we're scaling through business-to-business partnerships, installer recruitments, flexible payment options, and a technology platform that's going to be a game changer and the Uber of renovations, connecting clients and vetted installers. We are already industry leaders in the non-invasive renovation space, but with the platform, we are going to be elevated into a powerhouse. 60% of the prize money will go towards inventory, reducing our cost of sales and increasing our margins from 52% to 71%. 20% will finalize our platform and 10% will go to marketing. And that's a wrap.
Ah, nice ending. I caught the fun. All right, over to you, Monique.
Perfect ending.
Thank you.
So I would imagine that your services are a once-off type initiative. What's your after-sales strategy to build a long-term relationship with your clients?
We already have relationships with some landlords. For renovations, we have a particular client. I'm not going to mention their name, but for every client of theirs that moves out of a building, when the other one moves in, we renovate the space, we wrap the kitchen. So that's our model with them. So the new client gets to choose their own color of the space, and yeah, those are the only clients that we can work. Like interior designers, because they have access to a lot of people, they have access to the market. We work with them as well. But with individual clients, unfortunately, it's always once off. Or if we've wrapped your kitchen, we will return for a bedroom. You'll call us for another room. And some of them, if you don't like the color anymore, we can just change it. So, yeah.
One of my biggest concerns with your business is the barriers to entry. So I get that you say that other suppliers deal with only one, but you have multiple. What stops anyone else from getting multiple suppliers and learning how to wrap? Like you said, it's not difficult to learn how to wrap.
Yes. So with our technology platform that we're going to launch, it's actually, we are ahead of the game because of the platform, and we'll be able to scale faster than anyone else because we'll recruit installers from different key locations where we see a market, like a potential market. We already are doing that manually. We have installers, we're based in Joburg, but we have an installer in Cape Town, in Namibia, and also in Botswana. So with the platform, it's going to make things even easier for us to scale further and quicker.
Thank you.
Hi, Prudence. So I love the phrase that you used there, which says you're not replacing carpenters, you're outperforming them. But my question is, so who are your competitors? Who are you competing with? Then you're not competing with carpenters. Got that? Yeah.
I'm competing with anyone that renovates spaces. I'm competing with cabinet makers because we are targeting the same client. You want to build Alon a new kitchen, and I'm saying to Alon, no, don't build a new kitchen. I'll wrap the one you have and I'll save you money. So I am competing against carpenters, and I'm competing against other vinyl installers.
And you're competing on cost?
On cost and on convenience.
Okay.
Because it's not only about the cost. For other clients, it's really about convenience. You get your Airbnb. We work with Airbnbs. They want to renovate a space, but they cannot afford to lose revenue, right? So we keep their rooms revenue ready. A client books out or checks out of a room. We come in, we renovate it. The next day, there's a new client in the room. Whereas with traditional renovations, that process will take longer. and they will lose money. So it's not only about cost. And other clients just don't like construction in their houses. They don't want the mess and the dust.
Okay. So are there any other providers of this kitchen wrap solution apart from yourselves?
Yes, there are. They are not exactly targeting the same clients that we are targeting. They are mostly targeting commercial retail stores. We are more into real estate, although we service everyone, but we are more busy on the retail space. And then there's other people that are wrapping, that are targeting the same clients that we're targeting, but most of them are not. I think we are the leaders in the industry, basically, and most of them are actually buying the product from us. And they're getting training from us because we also provide training. So every month we'll get 1 or 2 trainees. And we refer some clients to them. For areas where we can't reach, we'll just refer clients to our trainee, and then they buy material from us.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand, Prudence, is you say you're the leaders in the market.
Yes.
And I'm not sure whether you say you're leaders by market share or what, but are there any other, and I understand that you're not in the commercial space, you're in the residential space, at least that's what I'm understanding. But are there any other more established players in the residential segment other than yourselves, or are you the most established and everybody else is coming after you? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I'm the most established, and I'm one of the first people to actually bring the concept or to make the concept known in South Africa, especially.
Okay, just my last question. So, in your analysis, then, what is the biggest risk in your business?
The biggest risk would be us not being able to import due to, I don't know, whatever reason, because most of our products are imported. There's no local manufacturer. Also, our biggest risk is somebody starting the business and suddenly they grow and they are on the same level as us, and then maybe they outperform us.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to go into how you get your clients. It sounds like, you know, when you get an Airbnb and you speak about these specifics around even the people who have new clients moving into a property, one of their properties or a apartment or whatever the case may be. How are you getting that? Is that through social media or through a sales function?
Okay, so most of the homeowners we get through social media. Actually, we get a lot of people through social media, and others we're getting through real estate agents. We speak to real estate companies.
How do you speak to them? Do you call them? Do you meet with them? When you say we work with them, how do they know about you?
Because of we met a lot of people through TamRex. We're
Yes.
exhibiting. It's an interior design expo show, so we met most of the people there, and it's different people from different industries. And then they are sort of the people that get us the recurring business. We help real estate agents sell houses faster because you can't sell a house with an ugly kitchen. So it takes longer to sell.
Yeah.
And then it's landlords and interior designers and architects. Those people, most of them build new kitchens, but for clients that can't afford their services, then they come to us. For them, it's more about cost, not convenience. So if they cannot get a client to buy a 300,000 rand kitchen, then they come to us.
Okay. Just one last question for me is that the concern, and I think you're hearing it across everyone, is the competitiveness and how you're going to keep ahead. You say you're market leader, but you're doing around 5 million rand a year revenue. It's not really a big revenue relative to the size of the South African market. So, is it, my cynic in me is going, is it really, are you really a market leader at 5 million rand a year? Or is it true because the market is so new that you're at the bottom of the curve? And if that's the case, then what's going to stop everyone leapfrogging you now with more capital behind them? Like, how are you going to stave off the competition once this market gets established?
So we've been in business for 3 years, and in the past 3 years, it's really been about learning, researching. So it's been research and development, traveling, meeting different suppliers, getting the right products and good quality products into the country before we actually now expand. So we decided to stay in Gauteng. It's not that there's no demand in other provinces, there is, but we decided to stay small in order to perfect our products. So now we are ready to go out there.
Okay, Prudence, I think we've had enough. Thank you for your pitch. You may leave.
Thank you.
Sure. That was a good pitch.
It was a good pitch.
Yeah.
It was definitely a
Liked
good
her
pitch.
demeanor, liked her energy. She came across really well. But she floundered on the questions. I think.
Yeah.
Others?
3 years, 5 million turnover or revenue. I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah.
But so that's good. But that
Yeah.
could be because of the cost of importing the architectural firm.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced. I think she's gotten in early on a good wicket. I'm not convinced that she's thought about her competitors and how she's going to stay ahead of that curve. The world is open these days. It's easy to make, get connections and get suppliers, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm concerned about that. How is she going to stay ahead of the curve? And I feel like she's not looking at the barriers to entry. She's just she's
But
not seeing it
she
as an
spoke
entity
about that
yet.
platform. I
Yeah.
wish we understood what that meant. But
That
the
was
way
for the
that I
tradesmen.
understood that was that her value proposition is that she's going to be national, and that platform is going to allow her to find applicators or appliers, I don't know what the term is, nationally, which means she can have national contracts. That's how I understood that. But which would be a competitive advantage to anyone who can import a couple of roles.
What I didn't like is that when asked what is the biggest risk, I mean, she imports everything. The biggest risk should be the exchange rate. She didn't identify that as a risk at all. She just said, if I couldn't import. I mean, for me, if I was doing that business, what you need to do is to get exclusive rights to a particular brand and, differentiate and market that brand, and then have a whole lot of national people who, whether it's interior decorators, so you're the exclusive distributor of brand X of whatever rep or various ones, and then keep bringing, be the market leader and bringing out the new ones or whatever. So, I mean, the business seems very vanilla. To me, I mean, it's kind of, you're bringing in this rep that is, as she says, it's a convenience product. I don't know, but from the size of the turnover, yeah, it's a vanilla product in a particular market niche, so there should be high volumes or potential for high volumes, because it's a, it's a, not a, high segment. So it's about how do you just get maximum coverage whilst protecting your margins is the game she should be playing. But I didn't get that sense. And after 3 years of doing the business, I would have expected her to understand a bit more about, what's going to take to get it to the next stage. So for me, that was a little bit disappointing.
And also, I mean, with the platform, if you're going to get those applicators, right, that's going to open up a whole different can of worms. Also, in terms of your, just training them up, making sure that that quality is maintained. How is she going to manage that as well? So that's the reason for investing in the platform. I think she could have explained that a bit better around how she's going to actually scale using that platform.
Yeah. All right, I think we've had enough. Let's get scoring.
You finished your round 2 pitch. Mfazi, bekunjani Prudence?
You're nerve-wracking. But I think I did well. I finished on time, and less nervous than the first time.
No, you took the words right out of my mouth. It seemed like you were in control. You run the day, the day didn't run you.
Thank you.
So that was your round 2 pitch.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the judges' questions this round?
A bit tough, but I believe I answered them the answers were good. I gave good answers.
Tell me about the relationship with your mentor. He is so proud of you. He's just cheering you on from the background.
Yeah, and I couldn't have done this without David.
Let's leave it at that. Good luck, because elimination round is coming up soon.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you.
You got this. Good luck. That was a confident pitch. Well done, Prudence. It's clear that both contestants brought their A game tonight, but let's see who the judges believe is ready for the semi-final stage. Hello again, judges. So round 2, we really want to see an improvement between the pitches of round 1 and the pitches of this round, which is round 2. Was there an improvement in Nontsikelelo or Prudence's pitches today, Judge Monique?
Definitely with Prudence.
Okay.
You could see, I think that Nontsikelelo got a little bit knocked left field with the question around patent, but definitely an improvement on Prudence's side.
Judge Alon, Prudence?
Same answer. I saw the same thing.
Nonkubela?
Yeah, I saw improvement in both of them.
Okay, so let's start.
When are you the nice judge?
Trying to take my seat this one.
I'll come back to you in a moment, Judge Ngobela. Let's start off with Nontsikelelo. Okay, she was TamRex. Now, what I picked up from the first round's pitch was that as investors, you were very trepidatious because of her fast growth rate. And then today, you just honed in on that, Judge Monique. You asked her, what if you implode? You put that rubber stamp on that question once again. Why?
Because she's enjoying the spurt of growth,
Too much.
of amazing growth that she's experiencing.
Is that a good or bad thing?
It's a good thing from a
How you feel?
how you feel, like, wow, I'm
Yes,
rocking, right?
yes.
But it's not a good thing when you not actually zoning in on the fact that I can see this train coming.
Yes.
What am I going to do actively
Yes.
to make sure that I don't implode? And for me, she hasn't gotten to that yet.
Hence your question, what keeps you up at night, Judge Ngobela? Just in adjacent to that answer and to that question. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, she's as Monique is saying, I mean, growth is great, but it's got a shadow, and especially very quick growth with an inexperienced, relatively young
Yes.
entrepreneur and businessman. So it's got a lot of businesses' downfall is not at the start. Those that are going to be successful is when the growth becomes too much and you don't have enough guardrails and mitigation to support that growth. You don't capitalize on the growth.
Yes.
It actually destroys you. So that is the big issue with
It's a light bulb moment for young entrepreneurs out there, who chase the fast growth.
All entrepreneurs, I think. I don't think it's necessary.
Really?
I mean, in her
Yeah.
case, it's great that she's young.
Yes.
But I think for all entrepreneurs,
Yes.
it's always important to say, this growth is great, but like you say, where's my guardrails?
Judge Alon, the question of the patent within the clothing industry made her strategy to be flawed. Please elaborate on that. That's a very interesting point.
Well, I'm not a lawyer,
Okay.
but I am an experienced investor.
Yeah.
And if my memory serves me correctly, you cannot patent clothing. You cannot patent clothing. So, and she spoke about the fact that the clothing was based on traditional clothing. So then it's definitely she can't patent those things. So when your whole hypothesis,
Yes.
you're presenting your whole hypothesis and she keeps talking about patents and it's not true,
Yes.
it's a very dangerous thing to do if you haven't done your research, because there's often somebody sitting across the table who's more experienced, and then no matter what you say after that,
Yeah.
it's, well, if you haven't done that basic research, then
Everything
what
else.
else haven't you done? So what else is true or not true? So she, in my eyes, if she came back and she said, you're right, in this circumstance you cannot patent, But why we can is because of A, B, and C. I would have sat back and got, okay,
Okay.
she's got it, because she corrected me.
Yes.
But you saw when I asked her, she wobbled after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undermined her credibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted. Let's go to our entrepreneur whose pitch improved a bit in round 2. All right, so that was Prudence of the kitchen wrap company. How do you know that you are the market leader that you say that you are? That's the question you asked her, Judge Alon. Why did you ask her that?
Same like the last point,
Yeah.
is that you make a statement, and I want to know how you know. Verify that statement. Don't just give me a sound bite without being able to substantiate it. So what I needed to hear was, based on this, I am the market leader, or I'm the market leader in Gauteng because there are only 6 of us, and we meet. And even if it was anecdotal at that level, but she
Yes.
didn't give substance. So sound bites are nice for pitches, for other pitching competitions, but not for the Nedbank pitch and polish.
Ooh, spicy. Following up on that exact question, you asked her, are you established? Who are your competitors? Same kind of answer like Judge Alon?
Yeah, we're looking for validation. How
Yes.
does she validate? How has she done her research and validated the size of her market or her position in the market? Because it's got to be based on facts. Facts. Otherwise, yeah, it's all platitudes and nice but that's not what I guess the Nedbank pitch and polish competition is about.
You heard it from the judges. You have to earn that #1 spot on the Nedbank pitch and polish. Next up, as you all know, is the elimination round. Let's see which business stays and which business goes home.
Prudence, Tamia, welcome to the elimination round. This is the worst part of being in these seats, and I'm sure the worst part of being where you're standing right now. Who's going to go through, who isn't today? So let me just speak about both of you in terms of, it's very interesting. We've got 2 relatively young entrepreneurs who are in a scale moment. Both of you are in a massive scale opportunity. And scale is very exciting and very encouraging, but it is the most dangerous part of a business growth, because most businesses actually fail because they are scaling, not because they are not scaling. So it's a very, very dangerous time. So when we looked at both businesses, that was in common to both of you, 2 young, great entrepreneurs. And yeah, so now we go to the substance of both your pitches. So let's start in the order that you came out. We love the fact that you brought your product and you wear your product. I think when you're pitching, it's to give the investor an idea of what they are investing into is a very important part of the pitch. And the fact that A, you wore it, and B, you brought it into the pitch was really, really great. And of course, the product is stunning. It's a stunning product, and you are the personality of the product, and that comes across. You spoke about the org structure, and we spoke about scaling, and so the counter to that scaling, I think you put that in to say, I know I'm about to scale, and so I'm going to organize my business in a way that allows me to scale in a more effective way. So I thought that was very, very clever. There's a strong sense that you're in that balance between aware of the fact that you're young and you're succeeding, you're in the process, but you also have an awareness that you don't know certain things. So that awareness, it comes across that there isn't this complete arrogance about, I'm growing, I don't need it. I think there's sufficient fear in the mix, in the recipe, enough that it makes you humble to what can go wrong, but not too much that it slows you down. So I think that came across in your pitch, that you've got enough of that humility or that fear of scale in the way that you pitch. On the negative side, you spent too much time was spent on the talking about the org, and I'm going to have this department and this department and this department, and you wasted that time. And so as a result, you never got to speaking about, in my question to you is like, what do you want? Because the new pitch, as if the previous pitch didn't take place, you didn't ask for the money. So we don't know what you want. So now you're telling us about your organization, but you missed the opportunity to say, and I'm looking for 650,000 and this is what I'm going to do with it. So it makes it very hard for us as new judges to come in and make a decision whether we want to invest in your business or not. The patent thing is an interesting one, and you can patent certain types of clothing, but is it worth it? What I was asking is how much you throw this word patent out, but it's a nice word to throw out, but is it worth patenting? Can you actually patent that type? It's not easy to patent clothing, and it's expensive, and is it worth it? So you had your whole pitch relied on this patent thing, and the moment I hit you with that question, you wobbled, and then after that, you were all over the place. You kept using the word so. So when you watch this again, you'll see how many times you use the word so. Okay, just be careful of that in pitching. And you felt out of breath, like you were speeding. Right? I personally felt your first pitch was better than this pitch, but it doesn't mean that this wasn't a good pitch. But that's just my view. Right, that's you, Tamia. In terms of Prudence, I thought you had a really, really great pitch. It was really, really a strong pitch. It was well timed. It had all the notes. You ticked all the notes of a good pitch. Your numbers were there. You spoke about what you could do with the 650, and you gave a great sense that you know your business. I felt that you know your business. For me, it came across that you're a serious businesswoman. Like there's a seriousness about you that's very compelling to an investor. But then you started talking about, you just touched on that platform, and for you saw that the judges were tripping over the fact that you had so much competition, right? We were tripping over that last time. We tripped over that this time. If the platform was going to be the big differentiator, I think you needed to spend more time on that. I think that was a lost opportunity as to why the platform, what was so important about this platform. I think that from a business model, there's far too much social media reliance in that business. And so what that means in a competitive environment is that if I've got more money than you, and the way to get clients is social media, I'll beat you. And then there is your vision. And so the thinking here is that we think you've got a vision, but it didn't come across strong enough that, if I'm going to invest in your business, are you going to just be the small, localized, perhaps with 1 or 2 branches? You didn't take me into the future, and so that if I put my money here, I'm going to get a big return as an investor. So that's the feedback to both of you. But only one of you can go through. So who is it? Is it Tamia? Or is it Prudence? The person that will be leaving today is Tamia. Tamia, thank you for your pitch. We're going to see great things from you. You may leave. Thank you. Prudence, you heard the feedback. There needs to be a bit more personality coming through. We need to have a little bit more vision. You've heard all the feedback. You made it to the next round. It was very close. I wouldn't feel comfortable as to how close that was between the two of you. So you've got a little bit more work to do, but we'll see you in the next round. Well done.
Congratulations, Prudence. You're moving on to the semi-finals. Nontsikelelo, leaving the competition is never easy, but we knew that the experience, guidance, and growth you've gained here will continue to fuel your business journey long after the cameras stop rolling. What an episode! Tonight, our judges spoke a lot about risk mitigation and having guardrails in place because, as exciting as a high growth period can be for an entrepreneur, it's also the most vulnerable time for a business. Wise words, and something every entrepreneur would do well to remember. Now, let's turn the spotlight onto you, our viewers. Yes, it's time for our viewer competition. And if you want to score tonight's 5,000 Rand Avo Super Shop voucher, courtesy of Nedbank, listen up, because all you need to do is answer this question. Nontsikelelo created a detailed customer profile and even gave her her name. What is it? Nontsikelelo created a detailed customer profile and even gave her a name. What is it? If you know the answer, WhatsApp your name and answers to 071 802 6981 before midnight. All correct entries will go into a lucky draw, and we'll let the winner know that they can go on a shopping spree at the Avo Super Shop store, where you can buy electricity, airtime, kitchen gadgets, and just about everything in between. Enjoy! To borrow the closing line from Prudence's pitch, that's a wrap. Make sure you join us again next week as we edge even closer to the semi-finals. From me, Uthubi, and the entire Nedbank Pitch and Polish team, keep chasing those big business dreams. Good night. Mwah!
Well, I feel grateful for the opportunity, honestly, but I must say disappointed. But I'm still so glad. I think there's so much that I got just from being a part of this, because there was a lot of learning behind it. So I think there was a purpose served, and it was served well.
I think I should be feeling very excited now, but it's a mixture of emotions. I don't know how I feel.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my coach, Dinga. He's the best. He's the best. Hopefully I get to keep him.
Please.
Please.